Okay, the post-911 Hugh Hefner roast that I performed at. And it was like I closed the show. It was written up in every paper. It's legendary. They still talk about it at the Friars Club. Everyone who was there talks about it. It's just become legend. One paper said, and I quote, that I should win an Academy Award for the telling of a joke at a roast. Another one said I was raised, it was a performer raising to the point, to the challenge of genius. Another one said it was explosive, it was a healing for the country. It was something that they said I was like Zeus, like Alexander the Great. So now, without further ado, we don't have the roast. We just don't. I was sorry. I had such a big... It was all true what I said before. Okay, here, let me explain to you why we don't have the roast. You see, I called them, the ones that took a bunch of calls here and there to find out who had the roast. And then they said, oh, well, we love you, Gilbert. And usually we charge $3,500 a minute for the roast, but because we feel like your family, we're gonna charge you $1,500 a minute. And then I said, so let's see, so for 10 minutes, that's $15,000, right? It was a pretty short phone call after that. I said, well, okay, really good talking to you. I think I'll go buy milk. And then got off the phone. Because I'm not, if you know me, I'm not the type who just goes and spends $15,000. I'm not the type who spends 15 cents without thinking about it. It's like if I buy gum and I find out if you walk to Philadelphia, they have gum there for 5 cents cheaper, I'll walk there and buy 5,000 packs of gum and just store them, because it adds up. Anyway, so, and plus, I feel like I'm not gonna spend that much money and to buy this legendary roast, because it's so legendary, why have my stand-up and the show? So it's 2 shows for one? Hey, between you and me, fuck you, okay? No, I mean that, seriously. You already bought this DVD. I don't have to be nice to you now. Fuck you! You're so stupid. You already bought the roast. Try to return it now. And see, so I'm not gonna put 2 things there. To me, it would be like putting Casablanca on DVD and going, oh, and as some little crappy extra, we'll put Citizen Kane also. You know, we'll just throw it in. Oh, maybe you press a button and Lawrence of Arabia shows. Or, like, let's say George Lucas put Star Wars on a DVD. And he goes, there's a little shitty extra. I'll put in Star Wars 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Even George Lucas, if he was alive today, would say that. And, the reason I say if he were alive today is because there's a time period between which I tape this and which it actually comes out. And the time with who knows how long you waited before renting this DVD. If it's even in the form of a DVD now, it might have changed. Technically, it might have changed. Who knows, it might be a hologram. Who knows what this is playing on now? But by now, George Lucas could have, God forbid, died. He could have died violently. And so then you'd be watching me now and go, I don't understand this. He says George Lucas said that, but George Lucas was ripped apart by coyotes. Doesn't he know this? Doesn't he get the paper that George Lucas was leaving his house and just a pack of coyotes just savagely ripped him apart and ate him, and he stayed alive for 10 hours as the coyotes were eating him. So I'm just saying, if God forbid this happened to George Lucas, and God forbid, God rest his soul if it did, and God forbid it should happen to, but I'm just saying, he himself wouldn't throw all that stuff together. And, for all I know, like I said, you're not even watching this on DVD. And you know something? You might have waited so long that you're not even a person anymore. Maybe by now, you've evolved into some weird, half goat, half human creature that's, adapted to the landscape much better. But, or maybe you've advanced so much that you're no longer a physical being. Maybe you're just a mental, emotional being, a spiritual being. So there's nothing physical about you. That's how advanced people have come by the time they get this DVD. Now, here's the problem. You've advanced, there's nothing physical about you, and you have it in front of you, and you can't press the button because you're just spiritual. There's nothing physical there. And you're going, oh my God, I'm advanced. I'm more advanced than anyone can get, but there's nothing physical about me. I can't watch this because I can't. What good is being so advanced? I can't even make an English muffin. It's like I'm advanced enough that I don't have to be physical. It's all a mental being. But I can't make, because to make an English muffin, you got to open up the package. Then you got to take the English muffin out. And then whether you use a knife or a fork, I use a knife, but to cut the English muffin in half. Then you got to put the English muffin in the toaster. Then you got to press down the toaster. A lot of times you don't press it down all the way and it just pops up. So you got to press it down and then you even hold it because by now you're angry. So you press it down all the way. Sometimes then it comes up and it's not toasted enough. And then you press it down again, but by now it just buzzes and pops up again. So you have to keep pressing, but you can't do this. Why? Here's the irony. Because you're an advanced creature of just spiritual and mental powers, and there's nothing physical. So even if by chance you were able to do it, and the English muffin was in front of you with butter on it, or jelly, whatever your preference. I just prefer butter. And it was right in front of you. You'd be there as a spiritual presence going, can't eat that English muffin. I can't. Looks good. It was toasted perfectly, and I can't lift it off the plate. And if I could lift it off the plate, I don't have teeth because I'm not physical, so I couldn't chew it. So now I'm here looking at an English muffin. And it's like, it kind of makes me wish back to the days of the, prehistoric man. Because the prehistoric man was totally physical, totally an animal, and so he could make an English muffin. They would show that. If you go to the museum, they have prehistoric English muffins there. And before man could talk, he'd go, let's have an English muffin. Always good. And dinosaurs would be attacking outside the cave, and the cavemen would go, well, can't do anything about those dinosaurs, but let's have an English muffin. Trust me, they would say this. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, the Hugh Hefner roast. That's it, the Hugh Hefner. It was great. Look, I'm telling you right now, check. You can check on any, if they still have the web or computers. God knows. I don't know if they still have this. Check. You'll see every single paper wrote me up. Everyone wrote it. There's been films made about it where they just show segments because they're not paying $15,000 either. But by the time you're probably renting this, $15,000 is what it costs to make a phone call. But I'm just saying, way back when I made this, $15,000 was a lot of money to carry around. But that's a whole other story. It was legendary. Hugh Hefner was there. They say it in papers, people were falling out of their seats. For God's sakes, I'm not saying this to impress you or to toot my own horn. Well, yes, I am tooting my own horn. This is my show, okay? It's not yours. I'll say what the fuck I want. Yeah, that's right. Okay.